Hi guys, Ronnie here. Yesterday I have attended my first ever cyclocross race on my new track Boone, and it was quite an interesting experience. So unfortunately, because I didn't ride and didn't have any results last season in the cyclocross series, I started from the very last row of the elite grid, and there were 55 riders or 51, I can't remember now exactly. But I was starting off with quite a handicap, and at first, I thought it's going to be quite a big problem. Fortunately, it wasn't too bad. I managed to fight my way up to 11th place, which well is sort of where I expected to end up, to be honest. Top 10 would have been really nice, but I was quite close. Uh, the track itself, it had lots of corners, quite steep run up, two sets of barriers, and the surface was grassy, very dry, and very slick in places where the grass had been torn off and ridden through, and underneath came up the very dusty and loose, loamy, sandy surface. So my tire choice, I think, wasn't quite ideal because I was sliding around a lot. I had the Clement MXPs on there, and these have quite a low tread, very fast on the hard pack, and very grippy as well. Also in the grass, I think I was one of the fastest riders in the grassy corners, but I didn't have too much grip on the loose surfaces, so I think actually a mud tire would have been really good to dig into those loose sandy surfaces. But I have never done this race or any cross race for that matter, so I didn't know that, unfortunately. And in the morning when I checked the track out, it was still very grassy, so I didn't know if it was hard pack underneath or what. But never mind. The other problem was the pressure. I ran a quite conservative 28 psi in the rear and 25 in the front, but it was just too hard. I was bouncing around, and when I was following other riders, they could take the corners without slipping, whereas I was just struggling for grip, and my front and rear kept breaking loose. So I guess it wasn't the bike or anything's fault or the tires fault, because some of the riders were even running foul threads uh, from Challenge and Clement. So I think it must have been the pressure, because well, I didn't really bottom out at all at any point of the track, and yeah, the ride was quite harsh as well. So next time I need to test out that part of the setup a lot better. But unfortunately, I don't really have a cross track or anything even remotely similar, to be honest, in the nearby area. I can ride some mountain bike trails, uh, which are good for practicing the technique and the downhills, but those are quite rocky, so you can't really put the same kind of pressures that you would on a closed race course, which is quite smooth with no rocks. Apart from that, the bike performed very well. Shifting was excellent, very fast and snappy thanks to the Jaguar cables, 1x11, 40 in the front, 1132 in the rear, so pretty much standard cross setup. Brakes flawless, wheels were stiff, nice and responsive. Pedals, I finally got used to these Crankmotors pedals, although I have to say I was losing quite a lot of time dog over there, quite a lot of time on the dismounts when compared to some more regular cross riders. So yeah, I guess I need to work on that. I also need to work on my tire pressures, because I was really slow on uh, those loose corners. Fitness wise, yeah, cross is quite specific. So at the beginning I tried to pace myself, but I realized the race, even though it was the elite category 1 hour, it's just extremely short, and I felt I had quite a lot left. uh, at the end, so I need to work on that, and I need to work on my accelerations, because I find that I'm quite good at those long, steady, high-paced efforts. Like I did pretty good in the time trials this year, but well, cyclocross is exactly nothing like that. It's just short, very hard efforts, and you need to recover from those, and you need to have this snap in the legs and the ability to recover from that. And that's something I lack completely. So I need to work on that. Uh, the race organization was excellent, and the race was situated in a huge park in the center of Budapest, so lots of spectators. The atmosphere was amazing, and yeah, it was a really nice experience after all. As you can see, the track was extremely dusty. Yeah, so I definitely look forward to the other races. I might end up in the top 10 later on. Well, there was a group of 6 riders that I was chasing. The problem was that when I got this area of the 11th place or 12th or something like that I was riding at, by the middle of the race, the front group was already uh, in the front. They made a gap, and there were 5 or 6 riders riding together, and it was a fast track, so they really benefited from drafting each other. And I no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't catch up. So next time maybe I will be able to start in a row more close to the front now that I have this result, and it will get a bit better from that point of view. But nevertheless, I have 1 more month before the next race I can attend, so I need to work on my dismounts for first, my tire pressures as a second, and my tire choice maybe, and then the course knowledge. Okay, so this was my first cross experience. If you'd like to know more about my cross bike, or perhaps my road or time trial bike, then don't forget to tune into my channel and subscribe. It's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.